Hey, it's Barry, and PlayStation 5 Pro news are turning again. We got brand new leaks, some crazy information, and some pretty terrible news about the console, to be honest. But before we get into that, take a look at this photo. It seems really unassuming. Doesn't seem like anything crazy is happening in there. PlayStation just celebrating their 30th anniversary type stuff. But if we take a zoomed in photo right behind the PS logo, we can see an image of the PlayStation 5 Pro, the brand new console that is planned to be revealed and released at the end of this year. And if you take a look at this image as well, you can see this is what leaks of the PlayStation 5 Pro have been looking like for the past couple months or so. And of course, guys, we already know that the PlayStation 5 Pro is coming, but this is confirmation from Sony, the first time ever. So this is officially confirmed by Sony. The PlayStation 5 Pro will be revealed at some point. And as always, guys, we got some terrible news about this, and we gotta get into it because it's gonna change the outlook and the way you look at the console, the new console coming up. But before we get into it, I'd really appreciate if you could just smash that like button. It really does help me out. You know, I gotta do the YouTuber thing. But as always, let's get right into it. So, of course, the inclusion of the PS5 Pro in the anniversary artwork suggests that Sony is on the verge of officially announcing the device, and it should launch in November as previously stated. But it also proves that a recent leak was true, which is slightly more worrying, and it has more implications about the cost of the device. We have been getting leaks and rumors about the PS5 Pro, rumored to be missing the disk drive, but these sketches and these markups of the PS5 Pro that we've seen online all does not have a disk drive, and it will make it mandatory for gamers who are switching to the PlayStation 5 Pro that have maybe a library of disc games. They will have to buy the attachment. I think it costs like $79, so on top of the PlayStation 5 Pro cost, the $79 is going to be added on to that if you need to play on CDs. I know not everyone do that, but I know many people collect games, and this is kind of bad for like game preservation and stuff like that as well. But it is speculated that the design may depict a digital version of the console with the possibility of an external disk drive attachment similar to the PS5 Slim, and this could be a strategic move by Sony to offer the PS5 Pro at a more competitive price point. But the leaker also mentioned that PS5 Pro will come bundled with the same DualSense controller, which of course isn't super relevant in the event that Sony is to release a PlayStation 5 Pro that only comes in a digital version. Requiring this $79 upgrade is kind of going to be bad, because at the end of the day, the PlayStation 5 Pro isn't going to sell buku numbers. If history is to repeat itself, as the PS4 Pro only accounted for less than 15% of total PS4 sales, and especially in this economy, many people are going to be quite content with their PS5 regular system, and many people already just got their PS5 Slim. And with the lack of games and the lack of incentives right now, like I know next year there are so many games that's about to come out, GTA 6 and all the exclusives coming out by first party developers from Sony, of course God of War and everything else. But at the time when Sony released the PlayStation 4 Pro, they had exclusives in a chokehold. Like, they really had so many games that could be played on that system at the time. Compared to the PlayStation 5 right now, it's kind of night and day. Like, it's not really, we don't have that many exclusives and stuff right now currently to play. Indie games are of course banging right now, like Black Myth Wukong came out. That is a pretty 10 out of 10 game. There's of course Silent Hill 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3, Death Stranding 2, I'm not really a fan of that game, Wolverine and Ghost of Tsushima 2, and all types of banging games. That would be great momentum to get a PlayStation 5 if these games were out right now. As we all know, the launch is pretty crucial to a system. We saw what happened with the Xbox One and how they launched and what happened with that generation. It's not going to be this dire with Sony, but you know, at the end of the day, it's kind of likely that Sony will go down the PS5 Slim route, where disk drives can be purchased separately and attached to the hardware, as they did see it work out successfully with that launch. And while this would keep costs down for fans of digital media, the millions of PlayStation fans who prefer physical games will have to pay extra just to be involved with the whole situation. Of course, we will find out more when Sony announces the PS5 Pro in this month's PlayStation State of Play event, which could take place as early as next week. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will be covering it as soon as it drops, I hope. So although this news is kind of negative, I have some positive news that might cheer you up, because with previous reports suggesting that PS5 Pro will be far better to equipped, handle, and run Unreal Engine 5 games compared to the regular PS5. That is something to look forward to for the fans of the PlayStation 5 Pro. People are expecting to go cop the system soon as it drops, because according to Sony documents, the PS5 Pro should perform about 45% faster than the current model, and the larger GPU will reportedly use faster system memory to improve ray tracing by up to 3 times, and the PS5 Pro CPU will be the same as the current model, but we will have a mode that can increase the performance by around 10%. And of course, the PS5 Pro has a mode that targets 3.85 GHz CPU frequency, giving it an overall bump over the 3.5 GHz given in the regular PlayStation 5. And finally, developers will have access to more system memory on the PS5 Pro, which should make it easier to improve resolutions and increase frame rates. Games that deliver significant improvements will reportedly ship with a PS5 Pro enhanced tag, just to help consumers identify which games are actually going to be enhanced by this. Of course, guys, I really want to know what you think about all this down in the comments below. I really appreciate you guys coming here and chilling with me. The PlayStation 5 Pro is expected to be a huge banger, of course, and many people are hyping it up. Many people are waiting for it. The PlayStation 5 Pro is going to be the best console on the market when it does drop, of course, just for the simple fact that we get Xbox games now. Of course, we have Sony exclusives, we have a huge library of indie games. We don't have a subscription service like Game Pass, well, that can measure up at least, but at the end of the day, PlayStation 5 Pro, it's gonna be a banger, guys. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below. Sony actually confirmed it finally, of course, and brand new leaks coming out that you may have to spend a bit more money when you actually purchase it. But yeah, I read every single one of my comments, and as always, have a great day.